Fatherhood at its finest. Someday you'll return review. Okay, here's ending theory. Oh, this is on Steam. Yeah, view page. Again, spoilers. So I just finished the game. I received the ending where Daniel reaches the chapel, opens the door, then it flashes to white, and Daniel has a nice memory of playing cards with Stella at camp. I went online to see a couple of other endings. In the other two, I saw Daniel reach the chapel, but the giant spider comes and knocks him down to the clock room. In one ending, the beast is there and wraps Daniel in rebar, and they descend down on a platform, and it ends. In the other scenario, the beast is not there, and Daniel destroys the clock and is left trapped in the clock room. Okay, theory time. I believe Daniel is dead. I think he went to the forest to find Stella, even though she had already hung herself, because he lost his memory due to shock. He then falls in the forest while looking for her and smashes his head open. I think when he wakes up in the chapel and the screen is bloody is when we start playing as Daniel in the afterlife. We are in a hell/purgatory awaiting judgment and seeing our past sins. The old woman is like the Virgil to our Dante. She guides us through purgatory. If Daniel does well in purgatory and decides to purify the hearts so he can face his sins, he's eventually forgiven by Stella's spirit and granted access into heaven/paradise. This is why they reunited at camp and shown having fun. They are together again in the afterlife. If you destroy the hearts and refuse to acknowledge your sins, you are then cast into hell, where the beast devil takes you down further into the depths for all eternity. It plays into the fairy tale of the king, Daniel, making a deal with the devil to rid himself of his wife and daughter by giving his soul to the devil, beast. Even if Daniel makes one last effort to stop things/destroy the clock, he is left in hell by himself. I'm sure there are a lot of holes in my theory, but I wanted to get this discussion going on the ending of a great game. I'd love if the devs would chime in and give us any insight on the ending of the story and its major themes. That makes sense to me. It does seem like purgatory, right? Which I think we mentioned that a couple times. I love that theory. I got the same ending. I was overwhelmed by it at first, then I saw the others and thinking of it and reading your theory. I think it's great. Makes sense to me, someone replied. Sorry, this was also written by Weston on Steam. This is like on the Someday You'll Return discussions forum. Weston replied to somebody, "Hey, thanks. I was actually rather disappointed in it initially too. Then I just sat there thinking about the entire plot and how it could all connect. It's rather long, so it's easy to forget exactly what happened earlier. I ended up being content with it. I'm still not sure they left enough time to truly redeem how Daniel was throughout most of the game." Oh, this is bleeped out. It probably says shitty or something. Throughout most of the game, but I still left it feeling good. The Ashman Cometh replies and says, "Yeah, no. Let's look at the evidence. Daniel goes back to Morovia because Stella ran away. The Macguffins he's chasing after." What's it? Oh, the Macguffin? What is that? What's a Macguffin? He's chasing after is a clock that he's told to stop, and his final destination is the chapel. The title of the game is Someday You'll Return. We find out at the end Stella kills herself, so we've got a guy going to a chapel to see his daughter for the last time. He's going to her funeral. That's why it's in a chapel. The thing about Daniel is that he's a narcissist. He destroys the hearts even though he knows deep down that they're erasing memories because he doesn't want to accept that he could have saved her. Him caring and being a good father would have made all the difference. Him walking through the doors of that chapel and saying goodbye to her is the good ending because it requires him to accept his failings. His struggle against the beast is him metaphorically struggling with his narcissism. In fiction, a Macguffin is an object, device, or event that is necessary to the plot and the motivation of the characters, but insignificant, unimportant, or irrelevant in itself. That's really interesting. Macguffin. An arbitrary thing in a story that motivates the protagonist. New breakfast item at McDonald's. Misha, that coffee you got at Mickey D's looked good. Was it good? I want one now. Hi, Eric. Thanks for lurking. Appreciate you. Which theory are you liking more so far? Are we liking the like heaven, hell, purgatory? Or do we kind of like this funeral theme? I'm kind of leaning more towards the purgatory thing. The like heaven, hell, purgatory thing. Because there is definitely several falls that should have killed Daniel. And the first one maybe did. I like the hell theory. I'm with you, yeah. We're with Weston. Craving a McMuffin now? Oh my gosh. Oh, got you, Unique Beast, got you. I like the chapel of funeral clock metaphor. I mean, it both could be true, right? It could be sort of like a metaphorical funeral. I like the purgatory one because it is well thought out. Not that I think the game necessarily communicated that idea. I like the purgatory version. Both theories are really interesting, right? Weston replied to the Ashman Cometh, and he said, hey, that makes a lot of sense to me. I was just jumping to attribute the supernatural to something. I don't think there's a definite answer, nor was I saying my theory was correct, so I'm not sure. Oh, it's because they started off their post by saying, yeah, no. Yeah, they didn't need to do that. That was actually really rude. Either way, I like your interpretation as well. Have a great one. Weston's a real one. Can I leave a thumbs up on Weston's profile?
You're nice. Weston, you're nice. I like Weston.
Makes sense for purgatory because it's reliving the last moment with his daughter, and also we had all those memories looking back at like times he had been like abrasive or abusive with her or in front of her, and we were getting all these insights into like her past via the diary entries and those like memory bubbles we walked into. That could definitely be some sort of like purgatory trial system. And again, this might make even more sense if you were familiar with like Czech culture, perhaps, especially considering like the story. Like maybe there's something in Czech culture that makes this way more clear. You know what I mean? That they have a certain way they view death, or they view heaven or hell, or things like that. That kind of puts this in a clearer context. Thank God for therapy tomorrow. I'm so sorry, Michael. So sorry. But that's why we had the trigger warning. I hope everyone who need to take care of themselves did. A lot of history in real locations. That's true. It's very, very much immersed in the Czech culture and literal and metaphorical landscape, I think, of the Czech Republic, you know. Detective Zen, thank you so much for 14 months of support. Can we get some hype in the chat? Thank you so much.
Maybe Christmas, he thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. Yeah, I'm glad you have therapy. Maybe so you can work through those feelings tomorrow, though.
Free with Amazon Prime.
Please, please, please take care of yourself. We first and foremost want everybody to be safe and comfortable. No game is worth jeopardizing that, you know. Seeing theories that Stella was pregnant. That's what I thought too, Misha. I thought that's what her conversation with Alexander was, that we kind of heard. We got a snippet of that, and then seeing it in the diary too. Like, the thing she really needed to tell him wasn't that she was sick, that she had that scleroderma. What was it again? Not that, but that she was pregnant. Because I think it was implied that they had sex. Or at least fooled around, you know, that when they were going to like that secret place where like a creepy random old man was spying on them. Scleroderma. The three of us. Well, I think at the end, the three of us, she was talking about the three figures we saw at the end. Because we saw Leah, the other little girl, who might have been a memory of his sister. And then we saw Eleonora, who was just, I think, completely fictitious. And then we saw Stella. So I think when they said the three of us, I think she was referring to that, because Alexander fucking dipped. So if she was pregnant, it still would have just been the two of them, because Alexander fucking noped out. She said we. Yeah, I think she was probably pregnant. But it's a little confusing. It's a little muddled because she's talking about this other medical condition that she has. Not that being pregnant's a medical condition. Is it? I don't know. That sounds really crass. That sounds really crass. She also has a medical condition going on. So it's a bit muddled with the pregnancy thing. I don't know. Kiki Bangs, thank you so much for the brand new subscription. That is so sweet of you. Can we get some sub hype in the chat? Kind of. I mean, technically. Thank you, Kiki, for that brand new sub. I hope you enjoy all of your emotes. I don't even know how many there are anymore. Chat's been so wild with the sub love recently. Pregnany. Peanut, we finally finished Someday You'll Return, so we're just chatting about it a little bit and talking theories because it was very metaphorical the entire time. So we're kind of trying to parse what it all meant, you know? Tree Trunk also replied and said, "Hi, I just finished the game and I got the cards ending. I feel like that ending is showing that Daniel is now able to move on with his life. After going through the grueling process of witnessing and accepting his wrongdoings that caused all of that, it has made him a better person, as bittersweet as that is. Perhaps in the bad ending, Daniel just dismisses his part in what happened and remains the same." I could see that too, where it's sort of this metaphorical journey, and then that would explain the funeral ending too. Is it's this metaphorical journey of Stella dying and then him having to come to terms with his hand in that. And it's this just like really long and grueling process of that's adjacent to grieving. Well, and also it's occurring at the same time as grieving, but it's also this like other process of like self-realization and like accountability and knowing what kind of hand you had. That seems like a side by processing of like two traumas at once almost. Okay, that was from email and riddle on Steam. Misha says, "Oh, with the girl, I think they're all Stella. Leah is the young kid that loves her daddy. That was probably the image Daniel had of Stella. Eleanor is probably who Stella would have been if she had his support. She would have grown to be strong, beautiful woman. And by the way, this is another reason why I believe Stella was pregnant. Remember what Eleanor said? She had lost a child, a boy. He was unborn and she lost him because she did not have a choice." I really like that theory, actually. I really like that theory, honestly. Yeah, Michael, I mean, I think, and that's what Weston was saying on Steam, was that, you know, at first you're really disappointed, but then you sort of kind of try and dig your teeth into the overall picture, and it becomes a lot more interesting. I think any game that you want to talk about after it's done, that's a good game, you know? Yeah, I really like that one, Misha. Thank you for sharing that. I would, though, I know, though, at one point that Daniel did mention his sister, and I can't remember what his sister's name is, but it kind of, like, the flashback we had of his childhood was that, or this vignette we had of his childhood is that his sister, they were out playing, him and his sister were, he fell in a well and she just didn't tell anyone. You did say you're this real Stella, aren't you? That's true. I doubt I can look up Daniel's sister's name in Someday You'll Return. I doubt I can look that up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if they mentioned the sister's name. She left him in a well, Maleficent, and they kind of I think showed us that to give us a reason of why Daniel treated all women like dolls. Is it because he had such he despised his sister so much that he just fucking from that day forward just decided he hated women? Ida, I think Ida was his ex-wife. Play it again? Fucking no. Fucking no. I'm glad we played it. I'm really glad we stuck it out. I'm glad we played the entire thing. I had a lot of fun playing through it. Because I got to play it with y'all and everything's fun with y'all. And I do like how, you know, you finish it and it's an introspective process. I don't know if he ever said his sister's name, but they provided it as an example of why he hated women and why he treated them all like dolls. He did say to Leah, I never realized you were one of those dolls. And then Leah said to him, well, that's because when I was growing up, you always called me your doll. So that could be either he talked to Stella like that when she was younger, or after his sister fucking left him in the well, he was like, fucking women are toys. And that's when he started calling women dolls. Ocho, thanks for getting that sub. The text, welcome back on it for 5 heckin' months. You're beautiful. Hope you enjoy all of your emotes and your sub badge courtesy of Mother and Chow. Mocho, you need to stop being too generous tonight, please. Hi, Gray. How you doing? Dad of the Year edition. That's right. Ultimate Dad Simulator. One more time. No. Oh, no, you're fine, Mocho. You're fine. You don't need to apologize for supporting the channel. Please. I am really done. Okay, good. Too much. Too good. Here, let me read another one here. This is from lobo.wz. This is still in that same Steam discussion. I rather think that he is dead already, perhaps years after all this happened in real life. Perhaps he killed himself right after that due to his guilt, which directly led to Stella's suicide. That remains unclear to me. There will be, therefore, no moving on in real life. It is pretty clear that what happens in the game is not a real world, and unless it is just a bad dream, which one cannot entirely dismiss, but somehow it feels rather weak as a premise of a story, getting up the next day as a redeemed person, there are numerous indications of this being purgatory. Some of the various endings lead to either descending to hell with the beast, getting back to the start of the game, can you imagine if we got the ending where it put us to the start of the game? I would have fucking had a fit. Oh my god. Holy shit. I would have lost my mind. Full tilt. Oh my god. Or heavily toned card cage. Heavily toned. I was like, wait, he gets ripped in a cage? So start of the game, remaining in purgatory, or the heavenly toned card game. Well, heaven. 2, in the good ending, Daniel says, you know where we are. It seems also as a giveaway. He obviously does not mean they are in the camp, and they have all the time in the world now. That was interesting. That line was interesting. That stuck with me. Was Def a chonk, swole dad. True purgatory. With the well, the conversation implies that he had previously been told not to go there. I wonder if he was shitty to his sister, so that's why she left him to deal with the consequences. I mean, I think that's a distinct possibility, Ninth Lady, to be honest, because I don't think Daniel, I think he is a narcissist, and I don't think if there was a perspective that would shed more light on that scenario, I don't think he would share that even with himself, you know? Hi, Shadows of Eternity. How you doing? Swolgatory. Yep. We're just busy getting swole till the end of time. And then they say 3, as someone else mentioned, the old crone works as a guide to Daniel, similar as Virgil does in the Divine Comedy. This is really a bit beyond me, though. Smiley face. Mnemonic says, one motive I haven't seen mentioned anywhere yet. Remember the moment when he's chasing the car and it ends up crashed in the ditch? Apparently it's Daniel's car. That's right. Could it be that Daniel died in a car crash and that's how he ended up here? That's right. I think I remember saying that in the moment. And the plate said C3PO. It said R2D2 C3PO. That could have been the moment he died, or a remembering of the moment he died. And I think we actually do see his car in multiple other scenes where it's destroyed or otherwise like inaccessible. So that could be it. Lobo from earlier replies, Corby, thanks for the 666 biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you. And replies to Mnemonic and says, that is actually very interesting. I did not catch the car, but have seen the light in the woods. So I went there and never found the crashed car. It could very well be so, even though these things may just be random hints in a sense of you cannot get out of here, the same way the car is demolished in the beginning. Similarly, the call with Ida when she says, I have called the police, but they told me to consult a psychiatrist. Obviously, this did not happen in the real world, unless the ultimate reveal would be that it's all this is a dream of an insane Ida and an asylum. I don't like that idea at all. But maybe they said to call a psychiatrist because Stella had been dead for years? Or had recently died? Maybe the wife was also in some sort of fugue state? Like they were both in this, like, because you can do that. You can just be so fucked. You could just be so fucked by grief that like you and another person or multiple other people can like share this trauma and create like share a similar psychosis, right? Doesn't that happen? Like a shared psychosis? Well, you think they said that because of sexism? Well, that's a distinct possibility. Solemnly, that's a much more, it's a much simpler answer for sure. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Taco Town, thank you for 23 months of support. Thank you for sharing your Prime sub here. Appreciate it. Can we get some sub hype in the chat for Taco Town? Almost 2 fucking years. You're beautiful. Lobo also replied again and said there are various endings. 1, you get the best one for being thorough and purifying the hearts once you get a choice. 2, you descend to hell with the beast if you destroy the hearts. 3, you can turn back and quit right at the start. That is also sort of an ending. True, Mocho. I imagine losing a child would be a very much an intertwined trauma between both the parents. Fuck this ending. I mean, listen. And you can another one is you can do 2 things with the clock. Actually, this seemed narratively weird. The old chrono completely asked you to break it or stop it, and then I missed the clock altogether and got the best ending. Either break it or stop it. The second returns you to the start of the game. Can you imagine? I would have fucking lost my mind. Don't know if there's any more, but surely you can Google more details. Google more details on YouTube is what this person said. I love Lobo. Lobo, you're beautiful. Weston replies to Lobo. Lobo, we seem to be in total agreement on the story. I've liked the other interpretations, but hearing yours just solidifies my feelings towards my original theory. I also hope the devs will eventually give insight on all the different symbolism and meaning someday. Weston and Lobo are a BFF now. I love it. This is the story we're really here for. Is Lobo and Weston coming together on the Steam forums. I love reading theory thread post-game. I know, Misha. Especially with games like this where it's so steeped in metaphor and symbolism. Wait, so it's the nope ending? Is the nope ending an option once you get sent back to the start? I don't know. Maybe we could have done that when we started the game. Maybe at the start of the game, we could have just left. I didn't try, I don't think. I ship this stream theory. Oh my goodness. It's not necessarily bromance, Glaze. We don't know their genders. You know? Vec Riegler responds, I believe it's not about us. It's about what happened to Stella. 2018, she went to camp for the last time. She was feeling sick because she was pregnant or she had some severe illness. I'm saying maybe she was pregnant because her... Oh, yeah, okay. We're not gonna read that. And when she told everything to Alex, she ended up having no one with her. Sick, no money, no friends. And on July... but we were there because on the 19th, she promised to never run away. I don't understand why we called our wife at the start or through the game. Did we bury her and didn't tell anyone what happened? Okay, Vec, I don't know what you're talking about. If she was with... Okay, no. She was definitely sick. In one of the last diary pages, she writes that she hates the scleroderma thing. It's a skin disease that disfigures the skin and body slowly. So maybe when she told Alexander about it, he rejected her because of the expectable changes of her body in the future. Maybe she was pregnant too, but for that I missed a proof in the game. Yeah, I don't think they explicitly said that at any point. Also, check out this very short scene in the middle of the game when Daniel faces Stella and tries to pull her out of the fire. Her skin looks kind of sick. I first thought it was because of the flames, but maybe it was a sign of scleroderma. A people mance. Google Lobo, the OG DC character, has a beefy chest. Listen, not in front of the children. I think this is one of the best plots I've ever encountered in a game. Traveler, I don't know about that, fam. Traveler, I don't know about that. One of the developers responded. One of the developers responded. Here we go, fam. This is Jan Cavan, one of the developers. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to thank you all for this. This very thread is the true reason why we made this whole game. I just want to tell you that nothing is random in the game. There are still layers of story which are hidden in plain sight, and I can see a few of you starting to tackle these. Even very little hints here and there need to be taken into account. And if you need to understand everything 100%, this is not a story which will be served to you on a silver platter, and there's a reason why the game has 5 endings in exactly this constellation. Well, almost everything is needed. ... Not hashtag lurks? Lurks? They said, fuck you, we're not telling. They said, fuck you, play the game again. They want us to talk about Onion Girls. They said, fuck you, we're not telling. Weston responds to the devs. Let's see what Weston has to say about this shit. Weston says, hey, it's great to see a response from you. The game was fantastic and I can't wait to search for more meaning and clues on my second playthrough. Weston, you're so strong. You're so strong, Weston. You've added a lot since launch and I'm excited to experience it. Thank you for pouring your heart into this game. Devs like you are why I still love gaming after all these years, even after seeing what AAA gaming has become. Indie devs are the lifeblood of the medium. Thank you so much, Bootleg, for 7 months of support. We love Weston. Weston is the hero we need. I'm gonna friend Weston on Steam. Weston played 17 hours of Watch Dogs on my birthday. Oh my goodness. Jeez. They also played the Devolver. Wait, let's look at their wish list. Can I send them something off their wish list, even if we're not friends? I think I had to be their friend, right? I wish I could send Weston a game. Purchase as a gift. Steam account. I'm not logged in. Oh.
deceive. The teddy bear are here to play. If you don't come play with us, then we will kill you.
What do you mean? Misha, please. Oh my god, Nomad Andy. What do you mean? Thank you so much for giving out 25 fucking subs to the community. That is so wicked generous of you, and I really appreciate it. Can we get some absolutely wicked hype? Some wicked gift hype in the chat. For Nomad Andy gifting out 25 subs to the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so generous. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in, welcome back on in to all those new and returning subby wubbies. Good to have you here. Thank you, Nomad. Whenever you can come by, we're stoked to have you here. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I hope life is being good to you right now. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for that amazing generosity. I appreciate it. Thank you. Subby wubbies. Let me see if I can gift. Let me get on my Steam account and see if I can gift Weston because he has Maid of Skur on his wish list, which is the next horror game we're gonna play. So it'd be cool if we could gift it to him. Right. Pin giveaway. Oh shit. Thank you, Joba. I'll do that. Let me see if I can. Maybe if I go. You probably can't gift to people not on your friends list, huh? Finally, passive. Finally, we did. Purchase as a gift. Oh, yeah. They have to be on my friends list. Oh. It's Maid of Skur. S-K-E-R. Friend request them? I'm so picky about who I friend request though. Also, they probably wouldn't they probably wouldn't accept it, huh? I'm gonna send him a... Can I send them a friend request? I don't think I can even send them a friend request. Add a friend. Yeah, I don't even know how to add them without like their friend code. Oh, try searching for your friend. Weston has an eggplant. I think this is a different Weston. This is a different This says Peter Griffin smoking a joint on it. This is a different Weston. This is not our Weston. Our Weston would not do this. Our Weston would not do this. Oh my god, there's almost 5,000 Westons. What? Not our Weston. I'll gift it to all of them. Gift it to all of them. Maybe if I sign in on this Steam page. This is getting out of control, fam. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know my own Steam username, so that's a part of the problem. Does anyone know? I don't know what my Steam username is. Oh my god. How did we end up here? I just want to thank Weston for being a sweet baby. All I want. It's not Vana. It's like Vana _ Rama or something. I know it's what I showed up as because that's what I changed my name to. Can you add to the thread? I can't because I can't log into my account because I forgot my screen name. Help me. Vana _ Vanarama _ gamer. How dare you, Consuela? Check your email. Y'all, Weston's not gonna add me back. I don't know why we're doing this. The login should be your account name. Yeah, I don't know what my account name is. Is the problem. It's Vanarama. I guess I just don't know my password then. I tried that. Let's try again. This is a mess, fam. Y'all clip this because Weston and I are gonna be married in like 5 years, so whoever they are. And we're gonna play this clip at my wedding. I don't think I know my fucking... Oh, there have been too many login failures and you've been locked out of the network. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. Ruh-roh. I'm not gonna call them. They're gonna be like, why are you trying so furiously to get into your Steam account? I'm trying to be happy, Steam. Oh my god. This person makes a good argument for the pregnancy theme. Steam doesn't want me to find love. No worries, Misha. You're up late. Thank you so much for hanging out. Can we get some fairly wells? Some good nights in the chat for Misha. Some Rama sleeps in the chat for Misha. You're beautiful. I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Thanks for deep diving with us. You're amazing. Destroyed by a forgotten password. Oh boy. I know what his avatar looks like, so if I go through all 5,000 of these Westons, I'll know which one he is. All right, I've gone through 60. I found him! I fucking found him. Add friend. Friend invite sent. They will appear as a friend once they've accepted your invite. Let's go. Dope. Okay, okay. Everybody remain calm. Everybody remain calm. Let's see what their 2 screenshots are. Oh, they took a little... They had a little army man in a game. It kind of looks like a Fallout game. I'm not sure what game it is. His name's Oliver. I couldn't because I wasn't signed in. Or no, I was on his profile, Joba, but there wasn't an add friend button. Like, I was in my browser and not logged into Steam, but I have my Steam app and I was logged into that. But unless you were logged in, it wouldn't let you click add friend on their profile. So I wasn't logged in on my browser. Does that make sense? Oh, this is from Chernobyl. He's taking he took a couple screenshots of his army man. My god, watch Weston be like 5. Jesus. Oh no! I'm gonna... Oh, I'm in the wrong spot now. Okay, so this person, this is... Oh, this is one of the ones... This is another one from Email and Riddle, which is the theory that Misha shared earlier, but this is another post from them. They said, hi, I do think Stella was in fact pregnant. I'm not sure if I have it right, but I believe in all her entries in the journal, she talks in first person. I need, I have to, etc. But at the end, in the last entry, she says two things. The only chance I have now is to ask Father if I can live with them. At this point, we just need a safe place to stay. If she is saying that she is the only one going to live with her father, who is we? At the beginning, I thought she was talking about the journal, as in her and the journal. Now I don't really know. It's one I want to know. I don't know, Joba. That didn't occur to me. That's why. That did not occur to me. At all. I've got a smooth brain, Joba, please. Whoa, this is a really long post. I don't even know if I want to read through all that. That's what that person was saying, I think, Cosmic. Is we means her and her baby. They're pointing at like why the theory of her being pregnant could be true. Her and her pet turtle that she never mentioned. Thank you, Consuela. That's true, Sojander, and with my smooth brain, I'll forget in an hour. So, so there's that. All right, this one says, this is from Friedenkerhorst. I don't know, maybe they're from a different country. But they said, hey there, this game's ending made me think a lot about the story and symbolisms it contains, and I want to share some of those thoughts as well, hoping someone still comes around to read it. I've read one of the credit songs is about a soldier being struck by a falling tree, so I came up with this. When Daniel's driving to the forest at the beginning of the game, he is still in the real world. Stella's gone already. Both Daniel and Ida are unable to accept this because they know it is their fault. So they completely refuse to deal with it, and instead, the same thing as always is done when Stella isn't around. They assume she ran away again, and Daniel is sent to bring her back. Of course, somewhere inside, Daniel knows what really happened. So he is guided to that forest by a part of himself. Stella's suicide took place. Thank you, Case, for 6 months of support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Can we get some sub hype in the chat, please? Hope you enjoy your brand new sub badge. Thanks for sharing your Prime sub here. It means a lot. I know, so Jander. That's a good idea. Daniel knows it really happened, so he's guided to the forest by a part of himself. Stella's suicide took place here, which is the reason he promised to never return there. When he meets the old woman for the first time, she is telling him autumn leaves, rocks, and trees all fall down, foreshadowing what is going to happen if he continues going in the forest. When Daniel has to stop his car and it gets hit by a branch, his journey through his personal hell begins. In reality, Daniel has still been in the car, and when it happened, and is now severely injured or dead already. The mystical force remembers him and won't simply let him go. The old woman is a Baba Yaga, a supernatural being from folklore where the game takes place. Her powers allow her to enter Daniel's unreal world and guide him through there as long as needed. The last time she talks to Daniel, she's just an omnipresent voice instead of a physical person, because she is about to leave Daniel alone for the rest of his journey. retreating to the real world herself. I am absolutely sure Daniel's dead at the end of the game, as apart from my theory with the branch, there are more direct clues in the story as well. Baba Yaga. Keanu. I like the Baba Yaga idea. See, that's what I was saying. It might be something to do with the local folklore of the Czech Republic, which I didn't realize Baba Yaga was a Czech folklore thing. When he and the old woman are at the graveyard towards the end of the game, Daniel wants to know if things will end at the bottom of a grave, no matter what he does. And the woman just chuckles, indicating his assumption is very correct. The second big hit to Daniel's death occurs at his final path, quote unquote final path, when he gets to talk to Leah, Eleonora, and the Swamp Girl for the last time. As it fits in here, I absolutely agree with Leah and Eleonora are both Stella, and Leah being her as a child, and Eleonora, the woman she never got the chance to be. The Swamp Girl, as Daniel figures out, is the true Stella. True Stella. The girl she finally was. She really was until her very last day. She explains Daniel that he is the clock, and the clock's end is going to be his end as well. When Daniel asks why he should stop it, then Stella answers that his guilt asked for it. To me, this means it's the ticking clock. Represents Daniel's lifetime, and stopping or destroying the clock means the end of his life. Daniel does not have a choice anymore to let the clock go on ticking, because the guilt about Stella's death is too big and deeply inside. He simply doesn't want to live with it any longer. This could fit well with the idea of him sitting in the car, wounded by an impact of the branch in the real world. Maybe he survived it and still would have been able to use his phone to call for help and survive the accident, but in fact he does not really want this to happen and decides to let his life end. The old woman told Daniel somewhere during the game he will have to stop or destroy the clock, taking into account which events, destroy or purify the hearts, etc., trigger the different endings of the game. I guess destroying the clock means he didn't try enough to find out about the truth and dealing with his own guilt, so his life simply ends. When the beast blocks his way to the clock, he refused to deal with his past too much, and the insight of him being the beast is the last horrible thought he is allowed to have in his life. In the Unite with Stella ending, one can actually hear the clock stop ticking when entering the chapel without getting the clock itself. So I think only in this ending the clock simply just stops without being destroyed, symbolizing a somewhat peaceful end of his existence. Daniel managed to reach the only place inside, the holy place inside his personal hell, which is a happy thought about him and Stella, represented by the chapel. I don't think the card game is a real memory, but just a positive thought. Oh my god, that breath scared the shit out of me. Maybe a wish about how things could have been, which Daniel was allowed to have in his very last memory. I like that theory a lot, actually. Oku responded to that person and said, very nicely written, and I think very well true of what we see in this game. I'd been thinking about the concrete structures we find more and more as the game progresses, and I feel that is Daniel's work life intruding on a natural world. All that garbage and toxic oil spills making for an unpleasant world. Clues for that scenario seem to be displayed in the concrete slabs with their charcoal drawings. Thank you for fully expressing yourself. I enjoyed reading your thoughts. Okay, and then that Fried person responds to Oku and says, thank you. I really appreciate you liking my ideas about the game. Concerning the concrete structures, I think it's possible in one chapter of the game to find out about Daniel's grandma telling him stories about the war when he was still a child. So maybe the reason for the bunker playing such a huge role during the game. Daniel remembers it from his grandma's stories and sees bunkers as terrifying places. He associates them with suffering and desperation. Because of his subconscious mind has chosen a bunker as the place where the truth Daniel refuses to accept is buried. In order to remember and fully realize what happened to Stella, Daniel is forced to enter this horrible place. The first time he goes inside the bunker, Daniel does not spend too much time there, and the way down the stairs is blocked because he is not ready to discover what is hidden there. As the game progresses, he has to get deeper and deeper into his own mind, representing the increasing amount of lower levels the bunker gets. The more Daniel manages to progress through the bunker, the more it becomes the dominating place of his personal hell, as his own mind tries to keep him away from there. This results in all the concrete and steel structures everywhere, because they're characteristic elements of the bunker. Towards the end of the game, shortly before Daniel reaches the massive tunnel, when he discovers the sad truth about Stella, one can see different corridors of the bunker on a lot of different levels above him. And finally, the concrete plates with the drawings on them, narrating the story Daniel once once locked away down here. They are placed in rows next to the last door Daniel has to go through on his journey to find out the truth, showing he reached the deepest level of his mind and is ready to see what awaits there. I like all that. Robo responds and says, thank you for all those theories. They helped me a lot to understand some of the parts of the story. Thank you, Dunk, for 4 months. Seems like 4 days. Where does the time go? Can we get some heckin' sub hype in the chat for Dunk? Thank you for that continued support. You are lovely. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. And y'all, we are 118. We are 118 sub points away from unlocking another emote. Y'all are beautiful. You've shown me so much sub love tonight and all of last week as well. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Slime Girl. How you doing? What a wholesome forum, right? We love to see it. Roba continues to say, the only thing that bothers me is the final memory / conversation with Alex. I can't understand what happened there. The diary's last entries strongly imply she was pregnant, but would suddenly react so selfishly. Or was it about the illness? It just does not make sense to me. Anyway, hats off to the developers. What a game. I have to admit, I bought it just because I wanted to support game developers from my country. But it turned out to be one of the best gaming experiences I've had in my 30+ years of gaming career. It reminded me of Senua's Sacrifice a bit. Also a great game. Worth every penny. Buy it. 10 out of 10. Roba. Look at Roba's a sweetie too. Oku, this is the last response. Oh, I will have to find the bit about Grandma and the bunker again. Very astute. And that fits so nicely with the dialogue you pointed out and going deeper into the bunker. I do very poorly in trying to piece together a story when it's revealed slowly bit by bit. I know most of the facts and I can be very observant. But I don't seem to have the knack to be able to complete the narrative. So having you as a guide is very satisfying. Thank you. This is the best thread. This is the best thread on Steam. Oh my god. What a bunch of sweet babies. All right, we'll do a pin giveaway now. Okay.